Hey y'all, I am Eloy Lasanta. I am the owner of Third Eye Games, and I am also the co-owner of New Agenda Publishing. With both of those companies, I've gone on to create a number of different titles. I have also created a lot of different systems. Just to run through a list of my own games, there's Apocalypse Prevention Inc., Ninja Crusade, Part-Time Gods, Amp Year 1, Sins of the Father, as well as a number of games made for my family-style RPG system called the PIP system, like Mermaid Adventures, Infestation, an RPG of bugs and heroes, and the upcoming Kid's Guide to Monster Hunting. I've actually worked with a lot of different companies, from Onyx Path to Margaret Weiss. I've worked on the World of Darkness, I've worked on the Firefly RPG, I've worked on a game called Kid World, which was really fun. So I have been designing and writing for many, many years now, over a decade, but I've been playing for over 30. And ever since I was a kid, there's just always been an intrinsic value to role-playing in my life, and I've always been able to not only learn life lessons, but learn how to engage. It definitely breaks you out of your shell, and hopefully that's something that I will be able to assist when it comes to teaching you how to GM a game, and all the various skills that come with RPGs. I just love the idea of growing up as a kid role-playing, eventually making that my job, making it my career, and now I get to help you change people's lives with the skills that I've accumulated over the last 30 years or so. So sit back, relax, hopefully I'll be GMing a game for you. I'm Eloy Lasanta, and I'll see you later.
There's no such thing as ruining a night as long as everyone's like consenting on all the things.
Yeah. All right, very cool. All right, well, we are playing tonight an adventure that I wrote, which is a fun little adventure called Team Player. This was, I believe, one of the first adventures that I wrote for the game, and it's a fun one. And it takes place early on in the timeline of AMP. So it is an AMP Year 1 adventure, because there are adventures that are tailored to the varying different years. So in this one, it's going to be early 2015. So very few people even know that AMPs exist at this point. Even people with powers, like, you seldom know what's really going on before like your powers just kind of exploded into you. So there are a lot of different ways that powers can manifest, but those first amps in those like early years had like more subtle powers, kind of like Ripley is just like, yeah, I just happen to hit things and people can't hurt me. And it's like, oh, am I just awesome? Or wait, is there something more to this? A lot of people were like that in the beginning. And then obviously then you get bigger into that. But in the AMP community in that first year, there were a lot of rumors and conspiracies about essentially that the government is going to you can't show off your powers because the government's going to come track you down and probably come take you. And this is just kind of a thing that just all amps believe, whether it's true or not. It's just like every single one, they're like, okay, I have powers, so that means somebody's going to come and dissect me, right? I mean, that's just how it works. So there's a lot of that in here. But today, you guys, you five are friends, and this is actually kind of your day off. You have started to kind of hang out socially since you discovered each other to be amps, and you're kind of trying to figure out who has what power and how do they work and what's the mystery behind it all and whatnot. So it's fun, but that's how you five have kind of met each other. It's a weird group, but actually the only one that's kind of weird in here is probably Samaritan. It's just like, why is he hanging out with these kids? But
boredom.
Hey, sometimes. But today is going to be a beautiful spring afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky. It's the perfect day to attend a sporting event. Specifically today is the day of the IFX International Football Ladies Exhibition game between the US and India. Seats are pretty inexpensive, so it's not, there's no real stakes in it. It's an exhibition, so they're just kind of playing for fun because it's a good day. And like the IFX is like minor league so it's not like it's high on like media's top list of things to cover or anything. But in short, cheap seats, fun afternoon. There's like corn dogs and peanuts and stuff if you want it. It's fun. This is pre-pandemic because it's 2015, so it is okay to be out with people. Since you are all friends, basically you guys are just out enjoying an easy day. So it's just great. It's fun. So um let's roll initiative. I want to see who shows up first and who shows up last. So how we roll initiative is there is actually an initiative modifier, I believe, under other, and you roll a d20 and you add that to it. Usually it's the Lance who wins this one.
Well, Ripley has a +9 to initiative. I just got a nat 20.
Whoa.
Does that mean I have an extra juice?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Why not?
Yeah. Even though we're just chilling at a baseball game.
You're just chilling, and so I'll give it to you, and then it'll just fade away anyway. But I'll give it to you.
I got a 31.
31. See, even with your nat 20, the speedster obviously will get there.
Damn,
Well, I had to go and make sure that all the medical equipment is working properly before everybody came. So I'm just like there.
Yeah, and I like sprinted in and then chain smoked one of my cigarettes.
Who else got what?
17.
17. Okay.
16.
16.
I got an 18.
18. All right, cool. So the Lance. So Andre, you said that the Lance is showing up and he's like working with, are you like working on the job? Are you there to work? Like, are you like in like the clinic tent off to the side for?
Yeah, if I'm a paramedic, if I knew my friends were attending this game, I would probably request to probably just be a part of the emergency medical team, right? So I would have me and my coworkers like on the spot, just waiting, just checking and making sure everything's okay. And
okay.
Probably
like
be
that.
there beforehand.
All right. And then Ripley would show up, smelling of smoke, obviously. How is Ripley going to enjoy his day? Like, are you here just to kind of hang, or do you have ulterior motives like the Lance?
I mean, he doesn't know why, but people are often after him, so he's keeping an eye out. But also, he just really loves the hot dogs here.
Okay, so you go ahead and grab some hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Oi, mate, hot dog, please.
All right, cool. So Samaritan then shows up.
I'm gonna walk out of the one of the employees only entrances because I can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna sit down, order a hot dog, like with just everything on it, just like excessive, just.
Also a hot dog. Oh, see, but now you know how Ripley and Samaritan met each other. They are hot dog aficionados here. I like it.
I imagine we argue about toppings, just the amount of like I'm just like pile everything on, get some nacho cheese on top of the relish. Just
I have a feeling
big garbage thing.
Ripley eats them like Kobayashi. Like he'll just dip it, like he'll just eat as many as possible, dipping it in water to eat them. I mean, you're like, no, just put it all on one. That's all.
And I would probably see them just stuffing their face. I would see them stuffing their face with hot dogs. I'm like, easy. I can't heal stupid, guys. Okay, I just take it easy. Hey, you have a heart attack.
I have not lived this long by taking it easy. Eye contact the whole time.
What is Anthem's attitude when she shows up?
So I like get up and I like already like make myself like 2 of like my smaller clones, and I like go up to like some of the fan gear and I like grab some, like I'm like talking to like the person who's selling it, like with my main person, and like my 2 clones are kind of like grabbing like foam fingers and like little wavy stuff, and that way, so like, and then I like kind of go into like where our seats are, so like I can like already like have all my stuff to like cheer and stuff, so I've got extra like cheering stuff. So
I love it. Are you cheering for Team USA or Team India?
Let's see. That's a great question. I rolled odds as India, so I'm going with India.
All right, go Team India. I love it.
So yeah, and so I'm like
Philistine.
got my extra people to extra cheer and I extra gears. So because I couldn't pay for the stuff. So
No, that's awesome. I mean, of course you didn't. And then and I don't know if everybody saw that on Anthem. She has a klepto as a drawback. Radiant, and then Radiant shows up.
Yeah, well, I'm a deep sleeper, so I just didn't wake up in time. I'm really sorry, you guys. And then on the way, of course, I had to be alert for petty crime. So I'm sorry, but I'm finally here, and go India.
Love it. And like literally what the deep sleeper drawback is like if you guys were like intense and like we need to take shifts and stuff, you need way more sleep than everybody else. Just or you don't function correctly. And also if people use effects on you that would knock you unconscious, you take a penalty to that because your natural state is asleep. So all right, cool. Well, you guys arrive. Fun. It's going to be a fun day. It's a small stadium, so there's no roof or anything. It's open, but like I said, it's clear day. And there are spectators on both sides. Let me see. So the stadium holds about 5,000 spectators at full capacity, but there's barely a tenth of that here today. So it's not a super big day. Concession sellers are still there, blah, blah, blah. All right. So the lush green field, let me get to that part of the adventure. The lush green field is filled with eager players, all of them ready to give their all. Team USA is the obvious red and white tops with blue shorts, making them easy to spot against the gold and green Team India. So a lot of your stuff then that Anthem have it's gold and green stuff. I don't know if anybody else came decked out in USA attire, but you will clash with Radiant at this point.
Is there? Can I get like a giant cowboy hat somewhere or something?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say there's definitely a giant cowboy hat available for you. And it actually fits with like your look and everything. You have like holsters and stuff. I think that fits quite well. And I clicked away. So if you can make, all of you can make a perception plus knowledge roll. So whatever your perception is, plus whatever your knowledge is. And if you do not see perception or knowledge on your list, it means you do not have it. That was how I conserve space on the characters. Like if they have the 0 in it, I just left it off.
But mine has a +3 after the knowledge.
Yeah, it's because
in parentheses.
So you get extra points. Extra things.
Ah, okay. So I add that to the normal knowledge.
Yeah. So
oh wow, that's okay. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Samaritan.
So when you say make a, are you saying we roll a d20?
Yeah. So you're gonna roll 1d20 and add your perception and your knowledge to it.
Okay. All right.
I got a 24.
All right. Well, then that means you definitely will know things. I actually just need 10. So if you can just tell me whether you got over 10 or not. No for Andre, no for Kevin. So yes for Radiant, yes for obviously for Samaritan, and then you said yes for Anthem. Well, I'm gonna give Anthem, since she's a big Team India fan, I would just say you get it automatically. But essentially you got that was a perception plus knowledge roll because you're trying to overhear. I'm basically seeing if you're hearing stuff about the players. So are you hearing to get information? Perception plus knowledge. Just so you understand where the roll came from. Let's see. So Team USA, so basically you hear, or perhaps you picked up a flyer or whatever, and you're actually learning about the feud between these two teams. So Team USA has Amelia August, who has held the record for the most goals in a single game. And there is an intense rivalry with Savi Daran, Dhawan, excuse me, of Team India, who more than doubled Amelia's record in the last game they played against Team Belgium. So there's a lot of pressure on Amelia this game to not let Savi outdo her in this game. So none of you guys are psyched, so you don't get this extra little bit here. All right, so then you guys are just kind of enjoying the game. The game begins simple enough, and the first quarter goes by with Savi scoring 2 goals, pretty much single-handedly. So it's pretty good, As the heat gets turned up, Savi and her team begin to dominate the field by scoring another 5 goals in the second quarter. Let's see. Oh, now, so we're about halfway through the game. There's a little break in the middle. So if you can make a perception plus intuition roll for me, and then we'll see if you are super aware. None of these characters have like any special superpowered awareness powers, sadly.
I got a 17.
17.
Ripley got 19.
19 for Ripley, okay.
And
17.
also, oh, sorry.
15.
Another
Sorry.
reason why I wanted my big cowboy hat was to like blend in. I don't really necessarily actually care about the American team. I know people are out there trying to get me, so I'm trying to stealth and blend in with the crowd,
It works out because if they do come for you, you'll be like, no, take her. She's Team India.
Right.
It's okay. I eventually plan on like blasting sound towards like this
Enemies.
to the player was they start doing too well. Like I'm totally blasting sound in her direction.
Ooh. What did you get for Anthem though?
17.
17. Radiant?
Did I say 15?
I didn't hear it, but I'm
so.
I got you down for 15.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
15.
What about the Lance?
Yeah, that's
12.
12. All right. So nobody is noticing anything weird because nobody got the thing.
Let's see.
The magic number.
Nobody got the secret number, which was actually 30.
oh wow.
Oh yeah, I was looking for like big ones here in this one, but you could have gotten it if you had rolled a natural 20, or if you just had like a lot of bonuses. I don't know I haven't actually looked at your guys' characters, so I don't know who has high perception and high intuition and stuff like that. Sometimes you can just be like, oh, I have a 6 in both, so that gives me a plus 12. So let's see what I get. All right. So let's see here. Okay. Well then, yeah. So during the halftime, it starts going really, really well. I'm sorry. During the third quarter, excuse me. It's like, wait a minute, nothing happens during halftime because you guys didn't notice anything weird about the game. You guys are just intent. You guys are like, ooh, we have to see. Yeah, you're either eating. You're either oblivious or you are so focused on the game right now.
Are we like getting juiced up as we're getting more excited?
Well, I guess it depends. If you're actually invested, I mean, Kevin pretty much said that Ripley is not really all that invested in the game.
I'm clearly invested, especially if that like one chick like starts doing too well.
Here's the thing is that the third quarter kind of goes by and you see the girl on Team India, Savi, she's kind of mopping the floor with the other team at this point. She actually gets 10 goals in the third quarter.
I'm like
which
jumping
is
up and down and screaming.
Ton. As a matter of fact, Andre, can you make a perception plus acceleration roll for me, please? Acceleration being the power that you have.
All right. So perception was 3, acceleration
4.
4. So that's 7 plus 12. That's 19.
That would be a 19. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say, like, you're watching the game and you're like, that girl obviously has acceleration powers.
Mm.
Like, it's obvious that she does. And of course, the overly cautious part of you is like, she's blatantly using them. Like
calling foul play.
not to the point where like that anybody is like, oh man, she's, the game's rigged or whatever, but like you can notice it because you have those powers. That's why I gave you the role for it. Everybody else is going to be like, man, she's just so good. But like, you're like, nope, I'm noticing, the blurs and stuff. That's definitely too close for comfort. All right. So do you want to do anything with that knowledge, or are you just kind of holding on to that right now?
Well, I have a question. So in year one, how are people's feeling towards amps? Because I think I would be.
They don't have any thoughts towards amps right now because they don't even know amps exist.
Okay, so I would not bring it up to my coworkers or anything. I would probably just keep an eye out and just follow along to see if anything else. I mean, it's cheating kind of, but I'm not there for that. I'm just there to make sure everybody stays safe, and so maybe I'll bring it up to an official after the game. They need to replay because that was cheating.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Do I have my gun on me or guns?
I would assume that you have your guns on you. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. You have a concealed permit or something.
Yeah. Before one of those third quarter goals, could I try something really stupid?
Of course you can.
I want to try to stealthily shoot the ball and deflate it before it goes in the goal.
Okay. Wow. Stealthily would be the hard part because even with a silencer, guns are still.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask if I had a silencer or not.
I mean, but even with a silencer, they're still
okay. Okay, I'm gonna use the giant soda fountain drink that I got.
Okay.
And shoot through it so it's quiet.
I mean, so what I would say probably is that you'd be better off being like, throw a bottle cap at it to see if it does it. Like, it doesn't have to be a gun per se, only because that will definitely draw, attract people to you
and get us on a watch list. Really, that's
yes,
yeah, a little bit.
I would say you can definitely do it. I would just change maybe the mode that you're using is what I would say.
Okay. Yeah, some kind of, maybe when you flick the soda can opener thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like something like that, right?
Flick it hard enough to make it try to pop.
And since you're you can be like, it's gonna happen. More than likely. So yeah, you can make that roll. That roll is, let's see what that roll would be. Where's your character here? Okay, here it is. So let me see. So that's gonna be marksmanship. If you're trying to do it stealthily, probably a marksmanship plus stealth then.
Okay. I got a nat 20.
Okay.
And then marksmanship is 6 plus 2 in parentheses.
Yes.
And stealth is 3.
Okay. So, and I would have given you a -4, but you still rolled a natural 20, so it's going to happen anyway. But I am going to say that it would only be possible if you activated your luck power. So
yeah.
You're going to have to spend a juice on that.
And do I still have that extra juice from the start, or did that fade?
What's that? No, we're still in the same scene, so you still have it. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, you got it. It's fine. All right, cool. Well, I mean, so yeah, that definitely delays the third quarter for a bit. You definitely do it, and you did it so stealthily that nobody even knew that it was you. So I'm going to say that what you did is you stopped her from getting one of her 10 goals that round. So she only got 9.
USA.
So good job on stopping that one.
Who am I sitting next to?
I assume since you were eating hot dogs,
Ripley
sitting right next to him.
Okay, I'm gonna lean over to Ripley there and I don't really get the game all that much, but 9 is high, right? That's a lot, isn't that?
Yeah, mate. Something fishy going on, maybe. I don't know, but good game.
Yeah. Huh. And I'm just gonna kind of stare, trying to figure out what's going on. Use that little detective brain going on.
Oh, that makes sense. That
And we
makes
can just cheers our hot dog and get back to it.
Yeah.
Is anyone else cheering for Team India?
Well, I mean, there's people there for
No,
Team
like in
India.
our group.
Oh, I don't think so.
Radiant.
No, Radiant is. I'm confused by the game itself, so I
So as like various vendors are going by, I'm grabbing like popcorn or cotton candy and whatever, and Radiant is totally getting in spoils.
Getting what?
In the spoils of my random grabbing of foods and things and whatever just
Yoink.
happens to be walking.
Yeah, she's just like, here, have some popcorn. You're like, where'd you get popcorn from?
Don't worry about it.
You're a petty thief.
I'm putting some popcorn on top of my hot dog. Could be delicious. I'll find out.
Uh,
I love it.
well, and if you guys don't do anything else to finish the game, the fourth quarter ends, and it ends up with Team India with 14 versus Team USA's 2. And that actually beat Amelia on Team USA's previous record. So Team India's overjoyed. Obviously, they celebrate, but they show good sportsmanship, and everybody kind of parties together and everybody's happy and blah, blah, blah. It's an exhibition match. It actually means nothing. So it is what it is. Yeah. So both teams, they've done their celebrating and sulking. They kind of start heading towards like locker rooms and stuff. And Team USA's is in the East Wing, whereas Team India's is in the West Wing. So yeah, there you go. Once the players are all off of the field, you will notice that there's you'll see a man kind of dressed in like Men in Black sort of thing. You kind of notice one of them over on the West Wing, over by where Team India is.
I lower my hat.
All right, so
give him a salute, because why not?
Well, he doesn't acknowledge you. I'm just saying you guys notice him.
I'm still giving him a salute,
Okay.
mostly to mess with Ripley.
Okay. It's like, hey dude, it's like, wait a minute, are you with them? All right, cool. So it depends on how high your paranoia is. I know that Samaritan specifically has the paranoia drawback.
Yep.
So
just whether I'm more
paranoid
about the Man in Black or the clearly superpowered cheating that's going on.
Well, I don't know. Well, and again, and all of you see this. Like I'm saying, all of you see the Man in Black, and of course, the Lance knows exactly what's happening, and you see the Man in Black. What do you guys want to do?
Boy, mates, does anyone know anything about this Man in Black here?
Well, traditionally, they're not good. Just gonna throw that out there. In my experience,
I think we should find out who he is.
All right.
Yeah, but we need to
Find
figure out
out
a way
what
to
he's
do that
doing.
so they don't know who we are. Because that's not we don't need to give them any additional information that we possibly can. And also, she was cheating, right? The player, she was
No.
cheating.
Oh,
No.
she was clearly
No.
cheating.
No.
Yes,
Okay,
clearly.
yeah, I'm gonna go with my man Lance here, because
It depends.
he agrees with me.
It depends on whether if you're using your natural talent. These are abilities that she has. No, that's the PM. It's like, if you can move super fast, is that really cheating? Just because
if everybody else can't and it's a game, yes. Pretty straightforward here. I'm former law enforcement.
You do notice the Man in Black kind of radios, and you see another Man in Black kind of head into the West Wing.
It was where the
that's Team India.
Team India. Well, I think we need to run some interference on this,
And we
or
need
give
to keep
her
an eye on
some.
them.
How would you like to do that?
maybe we stealth our way over there. Yeah.
Maybe I hop over to that door and walk out of a locker
I can fly.
because I gender
float.
bended,
Now,
and so it's
Yeah.
okay now.
Right. I was like, is that a good idea? Oh wait, yeah.
well,
Yes.
I have a question. When I use my acceleration powers, do I move fast enough that people can't see me?
You
So
do
does
not
it-
know. That's like super fast. Like you have level 4 out of 10. So if you had like level 10 and there's a few enhancements that you can get to have that, but at this point you don't.
Okay, so I would probably get to a less crowded, and the place where he snuck back or he went in the back, is it pretty crowded around there?
They're basically going like down the hallway.
Okay.
They went into the entrance that would take you to the hallway back to the locker rooms.
Okay, so I would just be sprinting, not necessarily showing my powers, but sprinting that way. And since I'm in paramedic uniform, I would just be like, "Excuse me, pardon me, medical emergency," just trying to play it off, but moving a little faster than normal.
Okay. So the Lance he's going rogue. He's going for it.
Okay, I'm going to. Where's the nearest door, window, whatever?
The bathroom.
Bathroom. Okay, I'm gonna hop over to the bathroom, spend 2 juice to fast portal, and walk into and then out of one of the lockers in the one over in the ladies thing.
Okay. So let me address the Lance real quick. You get to the door and you notice the two that are there, they do stand in front of you and they don't let you by. And you can see like the door behind them is slightly cracked and you can see a few others walk past the door. So it's definitely not just the two of them.
Okay, so I'm just trying to play it off. I'm like, I'm sorry, I got a call over the radio that somebody broke their leg back there. Is everything all right?
They say, yeah, don't worry about it. We have it handled.
All right. And I give them my card. When you need me, Diego, call me.
Yeah, they say thanks.
Okay. Yes. I speed off, well, just run off, and I'm just keeping an eye and see if my teammates are also coming in the air.
Okay. So before I do the portaling, does anybody else have a plan of something they'd like to do?
So I'm gonna, because I've got 3 of me, and that's gonna seem kind of odd. I'm kind of pretending like they're like my sisters, kind of like interacting together, kind of having this sort of, spiel going, and we're kind of like fangirling it, and we're kind of I've grabbed signature books from like one of the things, so like it looks like so I'm gonna try going in, like I'm trying to go get like the signature of like, I'm going to like totally try and get in by trying to do the fangirl thing. So with
Okay.
like, my sisters.
I'm gonna say that you could tell by the way that the Lance was kind of brushed off that you're not going to be able to directly go in to the entrance unless you were to get them out of your way. Like
yeah, no, I figured that, but this is kind of like my like direction to like kind of be like that's like my cover-ish, like why I would have 3 of me.
Yes. No, I got you there. I understand. I get you there. Sadly, it will not get you in the door. So the Ripley, any ideas, or are you just still chilling? Kevin.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that's my name.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't call you by your name. I called you by your character.
Yeah. No, please call me Ripley. Yeah, I wearing my big cowboy hat. I'm gonna just start. So is this a girls' locker room?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy.
That's why I'm walking into it.
Yeah. I'll just for now I'll stay subtle but nearby with my hat down, trying to just kind of blend in.
All right. What about Radiant?
Oh, you're muted. There we go. Still muted.
You're good now.
I'm still not quite sure what I can do. It doesn't look like I can fly until level 4. So
No, you can fly. You
I
spend
can
one
fly.
to fly. Done.
Okay, so is there a way for me to fly into the
Let me see. I'm trying to think if would there be like roof access to a locker room. I would say that you could probably fly to the roof, and there's probably a vent or something that you'd have to look for it. But yeah, you could do that probably.
Okay, that's what I want to do.
Okay. So you will spend 1 juice, and if you can, let's make a perception plus crafts roll, or perception plus knowledge, possibly.
Okay.
One of those
Let's see.
two. Like I was thinking architecture might fall under crafts, but that might also fall under knowledge. So I would say take whichever one is better.
Let's see.
Looks like you don't have.
Perception is 4 and knowledge is 3.
So I would go with that.
Okay. So 7 plus 7, 14.
I'm gonna say that there you see a few different vent openings that could possibly be something that you think might lead you there. I'm gonna say you see two different ones, and then you'll have, if you want to go down one, you have to tell me which one you go down, and then I'll tell you whether it's the right one.
I'll go to the one on the right. I'll check that one out.
Well, let me roll to see which one it actually is. Okay. All right, cool. So jumping now to Henrietta Samaritan, you open the door and you come out into the locker room.
Okay.
Let me see what's happening here with that, because I'm sure that there's something written here for that. Okay, so essentially, you come out of the locker room. You immediately see all of the Team India players are all knocked. They're all unconscious on the ground.
Okay.
And from the doors, kind of leading out of the locker room, they just closed, and you hear a girl screaming, being dragged down the hallway.
All right. Well, I'm going to. I have no idea what I would. I don't know what I have like weapon wise or whatnot.
And then right behind you,
What?
Radiant bursts through the ceiling, and
I'm
Radiant
going to.
is there as well now.
Okay, I'm going to point in a direction and just start hauling over towards where the screaming is.
Okay. All right. You burst open the doors, and again, you see two men in black dragging Savi down the hall.
And would any of us kind of near the locker room entrance hear the screaming?
I'm gonna say make a roll.
Okay.
It'll be your perception times 2. So just whatever your perception is, double it and roll it.
16.
So I rolled a 16 plus 6, so 22.
Were you rolling as well? Was anybody else rolling? Was anybody else close?
I rolled a 9 in my, so I knew I
Oh,
didn't.
okay.
I got a 16.
I have a 13, so
Okay. Well, Radiant's already there, so you're there.
Okay.
So then, so that just means Anthem didn't notice or hear the scream, but the other two do, so you can always just drag her along. But yeah, you definitely hear the scream behind the two men in black who are standing in front of the door.
Can I try to just like have my head down and ignore anyone that's talking to me and just walk in like I think I'm supposed to be going in there, like playing dumb?
No, it's gonna be where if you did that, you just walk right into them. Like they're standing in front of the door.
Okay.
So at this point, there's obviously a few options. One would just be to outright attack. That's obviously an option, which is what it also sounds like is going to happen now with Radiant and Samaritan. Another option, again, that's, I have to remind myself that we only have 2 hours here. So another option, so I'll throw some options out at you. Another option would be to perhaps, if they, the people who aren't about to directly engage, you might get the idea of, well, like they're not going to, I mean, where are they going to bring her? Obviously, they're going to bring her to a vehicle of some sort. Maybe we go check out the vehicle. Like we can go see where they might be bringing her. That's another option. Or you can just beat them down. You could do that too.
Could I send like 2 clones to like try and grab her while like trying to engage? Like once like battle happens, could I like split up like that?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
So are we saying we're definitely going to just burst open the doors and fight?
I think I want to still do what I was originally saying, like try to keep my head down and walk in.
Mhm.
And as I bump into this guy and my hat falls down over my hand, I kind of shoot him through the hat.
Ooh, love it. That's cool. Make a quick make a marksmanship and deception roll for me real quick.
Okay. So I rolled 15 plus 5 for deception, plus 6 for marksman. And what is the plus 2 in parentheses with marksman?
Oh, that's because you just add that to your roll. It's because you have the accurate eye.
Okay.
Yeah. It just means you're even better at shooting things.
So 28.
28. Very nice. Yeah, so I'm gonna say you definitely take out that guy. Because
right, I just shoot him and
point blank range, and yeah, so
I shoot him, and if he's down, I let my hat fall on top of him and just run in and try to trace where I heard the screaming.
I love it. Well, I mean, it's not hard to. So as soon as you run in, there's men in black there dragging Savi away. Well, at this point, everybody roll initiative then, so I can see how people are going.
Oh, drat.
Sounds like you rolled poorly.
Yeah. I can only expect so many high rolls, but time for a low one.
Well, I mean, it's good for me at least. So
Radiant has 17.
17.
I also have a 17.
17 for Samaritan.
23.
Whoa. Wait,
The Lance 32.
32?
Yeah.
That's nice. 14 for Ridley.
Well, you're lucky because I actually rolled 13 for most of the Men in Black. So
nice.
So there's actually 3 groups of Men in Black. So there's 6 of them. There's one group that one of them is taken out now, obviously. Then there's the 2 who are dragging Savi away, and there are actually 2 at the entrance waiting for the 2 who are dragging her to get there so they could kind of, tag team on her. All right, cool. Well then, that's the scene. The Lance obviously gets to go first. What is the Lance doing?
And so do we get a juice for initiative?
Yeah, combat starts, so everybody but Samaritan gets a juice.
Yeah, that's right. I do have a question. It says something about protecting one of your loyalties gives you a juice. And humanity is one of my loyalties. Humanity, justice, community.
So usually what happens is like when you have you usually try to like link your loyalties to a particular place or a particular person.
Okay.
Thing.
They
work in general as well, but like humanity would be like, yeah, because I donate time to the shelter, so the shelter counts as part of my humanity. So if somebody's in tech, I get bonuses and stuff.
What about something like the sort of direct human rights violation that is dragging somebody against their will because of who they are?
Yeah.
Would that translate to you?
I think so.
As you know what, I would say yes, because ex-cop and whatnot. So yeah.
Well, and the whole world. I mean, even just the world traveler thing, like going everywhere. Like she'd have that sort of thing. I just need 2 juice to do a thing, so that's why I'm
No, I got you. I got you.
yeah.
Well then, yes, I will give you your one instead of you getting it for the battle starting. You get it for because you're like, oh, I really care about this.
This is not okay.
Even though I was like just a second ago calling her a straight up cheater.
Well, you could be multiple things. I mean,
all right, cool.
Because
So
a cheater doesn't mean...
Intersectionality.
Exactly.
Complexity.
So Andre, what are you doing?
So the lance would probably speed over and try and stop them from dragging the screaming victims. So I don't know if that's too much to do in one round or.
Well, you're a speedster, so it's not really.
Okay.
So you would spend one juice to activate your acceleration.
Mhm.
And what is it? How are you wanting to stop them?
Probably trying to attack the guy who's dragging with my. I would just like whip out my spear, and then just like try to just hit him with the blunt end, not trying to kill people.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's go ahead and make that a. So let me see, fighting plus speed. Yeah. And I will roll to defend.
Right.
Not good. Well, I got an 11. I rolled low.
It was actually really, really good for me. I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, well, there you go.
I was like, wait a minute. That's going to be my only one tonight. I swear to you. It's going to be my only one. So what I'm going to say is you actually try to rush in, and the other one who is standing in front of the door like reacts as you try to run past him. And he pulls out like a baton, and he kind of just like he like gut checks you as you're passing. So it's not going to do a ton of damage. I think it does 3 damage. So you're going to take 3 damage to your integrity. And you are on the ground. Ouch. All right. And that's only because I rolled a 20. Otherwise, you would have just been, oh, you got past him, but you missed. But since I rolled a 20 in my defense, that meant I got to do damage to you. All right. So that means it is Anthem's turn.
So me and my 2 clones here, we see those ones that are dragging off like my hero as they're like going out. And so we're going to like so I'm going to do like my sound at them, like I am like cheering for it. I'm going to like knock them down, like trying to like defend her, like I want to just attack them with my, like we're screaming for her. So what is the like parentheses? I know you've said this like 400 times tonight already. So what is the parentheses around the number mean for like adding in like the numbers for like when I try and roll this, figure out this.
So which ones are we talking about?
Okay, so it's for the bolt sound, it says level 4, and then it says core ability bolt plus marksmanship to deal 3 bolt. I'm guessing 3B means 3 bolt damage.
It's 3 brutal damage because there's regular damage and then there's brutal damage.
Okay, so
and you don't have to spend anything if you want to spend juice.
Yeah, I wasn't going to spend anything. I wasn't going to do the spend anything. I was just going to do the like regular part of it. So
that's the fun thing about Bolt is that you don't have to spend anything. That's just you can do it.
Yeah, I was just going to do it. I wasn't going to do the spend on it. So,
okay.
But I am doing all 3 of us attacking. Right. So,
all right. So go ahead and roll Bolt plus marksmanship.
Okay, so
and,
19
I'll give you a +4 then.
So 19 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3, 8, 27, 30.
30 total?
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, as long as I don't roll a natural 20 again. All right, I rolled a 12. But let me see what their defense is, though. Hold on, because it's not just a 12. I get bonuses to my 12. So let's see. I get... Yeah, it's probably 42, so I'll give a +3. And so that's all right. So you rolled a 30, and I have a 19. Okay, so I have a 19, which would mean that you would do your your 3 brutal will give you an additional 2 brutal for each of your clones, so 1 for each. So that's 5 brutal. And then you get 2 boosts because you get a boost for each 5 that you rolled over your target, and you rolled 11 over me, which means that you would do 7 brutal damage. So that is a lot of damage because it
Nice.
is. The question here, let me see. So you were fighting specifically the people who were holding, because there were 2 of them holding Savi.
Yeah, but I probably end up doing sound damage to
Yeah,
Savi because it's not really a targeted thing.
Like you're kind of like, and all 3 of you were shouting at the same time. It's really hard to pinpoint that. So I think some of that damage might roll off onto the other person as well as possibly to Savi.
Yeah, I figured it was a conic. Lots of people are getting damage in that direction.
Yes. All right, cool. So then, yes, I got it. Okay. Very good. Yeah, and you didn't activate shove or anything like that. So at this point, they're just like, oh, they're taking damage, but no residual effects on top of that. All right, cool. But that was quite a bit of damage. If you look at your own integrity, you'll notice like Anthem has 12. So doing 7 to somebody, that's a lot. Just so you understand how that works. Like, it's a big deal to do 7 damage. But that's your power. So the next people to go would be the Men in Black, actually. It's the ones holding Savi. So isn't that nice? They get to go next.
Oh, snap.
And yeah, so let's I'm gonna say these one of them is going to be a close combat, one of them is going to be all right, cool. So all right, Anthem, he's gonna shoot you. He's gonna shoot one of you. I don't know which one. We're gonna figure out which one, but he's shooting one of you, and then we will roll randomly to see which one he targeted. Because he doesn't know which one is you. Let's see. So I am going to roll any range. So marksmanship plus that's an 11. All right. So he pulls out like a longer like this, and he goes and he starts shooting it at you, and he gets a 17, which is less than I would have wanted to roll. I had a lot of bonuses. I just rolled really poorly. So yeah. So the question here is, how would Anthem respond to somebody pulling a gun and about to shoot it at her?
Well, that is an excellent question.
I mean, is this like a duck, get out of the way, and you jump out of the way, or is this like you try to shout the bullets away, or is this do you throw one of your clones in front of you to just take the hit and then don't even worry about it? Like what? Like how are you are you responding?
Well, that's the kind of thing. I was like, okay, like because I was even thinking, okay, if it was going for my clone, like was I going to jump in front of my clone because then I get more juice? Like I was even thinking kind of that. Was kind of the thoughts I was thinking with it. I was kind of feeling like semi-generous today.
I don't know if you'd get a juice for saving a clone.
It
like
says empathic link.
One of the other people.
It says empathic link plus 2 juice. She may take damage instead of her clone.
Oh, wait a minute. What are we talking about?
It says it right on my sheet. Empathic link plus 2 juice. She can take damage instead of her clone.
Oh, so yeah, you would have had to spend the additional juice to be able to do that. So yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea behind that is like you can make a clone that like goes out and does stuff for you, and if they get hurt, then you'd be like, oh, I'll just take it, but they're still doing everything.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like
I was thinking, okay, so it was like prior. So it was like prior. I was thinking like I could like jump in front of like with this. Okay.
Right. It's a little. It's yeah less that.
Okay. So then let's see. How would I do this? Yeah, I would definitely be shoving one of my clones in front of me to protect me.
Well, then I won't even bother. Then so, if you do that, then it just takes out one of your clones, and you don't even have to roll anything. All right, cool. Well, the other one is going to go now, and he is going to pull out a baton as well, and he's going to attack. I guess one of the two of you now that's there. So that's what they're doing there. That time I rolled much better, so that's nice.
Uh-oh.
Let me see what my bonuses are. My bonuses are fighting 6 and might 4. So I have a 26 to strike thee with a baton. So how are you getting out of the way of this one, Anthem? I'm not trying to pick on you. You're just the only one that's right there. So
Well, I've done stuff, so it makes sense. Like I understand why they went after me. I completely like attacked at them. Let's see.
Can she cry as a free action?
See, and we got a juice when like initiative happened, right? So means okay. So I shove back at him as it's happening. So it's must resist with strength or is knocked back. That's bold.
okay, so you're doing another shout, but you're going to
No,
activate.
it's a shove. It's a shove. The
Right.
shove.
So you're going to spend 2 juice on that then.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to do 2 juice. That means okay. So I rolled a 26. So go ahead and roll your bolt and marksmanship again,
Okay.
and we'll see how well you roll against me.
18. And yes, I believe that was 18.
Okay.
So
All right. So that would mean I would normally do.
oh, I forgot to add my strength. Hold on. Where is strength on this thing?
You forgot to do what?
Well, it says
No, I have to roll my strength.
oh, with strength. Okay.
Yeah, I have to
Okay.
roll. I have to roll their
Target
strength.
must with strength.
Got
Okay,
that.
that's what it was. Okay.
Right. And I'm actually going to say, let me see, how much damage would he have done? He would have done. Where's the damage here? I'm like missing it entirely. Okay, so yeah, so he would have done looks like 3 damage, but I'm gonna say no. Actually, no. Yeah. So yeah, he comes up to hit you. You shove him away, and I'm gonna say that does that then. And yeah, you rolled just fine. You don't have to do anything. You shoved him back. And let me roll. What's his strength? His strength is not that high. So yeah, no, it's fine. So you shove the other one back. He just hits the back of the wall, and he's out. And that is my turn. That makes it Radiant's turn and Samaritan's turn, actually, both of their turns. Oh, which is great because they were together anyway. So you can decide who goes first or who goes after or whatever.
Well, I have a very specific plan that I want to do. Are we close enough? I want to try and I need to get close enough to either grab or push the lady, the player. Yeah, the soccer player. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Little player.
I'm gonna say that you. Yeah, I'm gonna say you can do that.
Okay.
She's only being held by one of the Men in Black now because the other one got shoved.
Okay. Then my other question is, how close is my house?
I don't know, a few miles away, I guess. I don't know.
Within 8 miles?
We already said that you portaled in, so I'm assuming that you'd be able to portal
within
out.
8 miles. Okay.
Yeah.
So because I'm paranoid, I'm going to assume that I got a nice little paranoia basement with little kind of like safe room looking type thing.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to basically burn all 3 of my juice to fast open a portal, tell her stay safe, we'll be there soon, push her in and close it.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. So you can start doing it.
Yeah.
It does take a full round to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I figure that would give Radiant something to do to, let me do that.
Well, so basically you see him start going he's charging up for something because opening portals is hard to do actually.
You mean she?
Oh, she. Sorry.
Yes, it's fine.
So I was going to fly her out through the trap, through the roof, but great idea. Portal's way better. So I'm not actually clear on what my power is apart from flying, but somehow I get the sense from my history that I can beat things to a pulp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do to the guy who's while the portal's getting open. I'm going to I don't know what word you want to put to it, punch, or I'm going to attack
Yes.
the guy who's holding her.
Okay.
Holy smackdown.
That's awesome. Let's do a what are we doing? Fighting, and let's do might. And I'm doing that specifically because since you're kind of launching forward in flight, you'll also get that bonus there that it says there.
And so what was the first one? Might and what?
Fighting.
Fighting. Okay,
Yes,
so fighting is 4, might is 3, so that's 7, and I got a 19, so that's 26.
While you're in flight.
What?
You get an additional +4 to might when you're flying.
Oh, okay. So what did I just say that was?
So it's a +11, whatever you roll.
So 4 fight, 3 might. So you said +4 to that?
Yes.
So that's 7, 11, plus 19. So that's 31. Is that right?
Ooh. +19. I think that's just
no 30. Okay. Yeah. Don't ask me. There's
okay.
a reason I'm in the humanities.
No, that's fine. So yeah, so you that's a 30. Geez, I rolled pretty low actually, and yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, you're able to knock that dude also out, and so the two men in black who were holding Savi are now they're not holding her anymore. So that's great.
Damn right.
Yeah. All right, cool. And then that means Ripley.
All right. Seeing maybe a little bit of a portal start to form, seeing Radiant take out one of these dudes closest to the player, I want to try to just take a shot and take out the other person that didn't get brutalized by Radiant.
Well, the other one got shoved back against, like, they're out too. So there's they're at the end of the hallway. There's 2 who are on their way towards the fight, but they're not actually doing anything yet.
I see. Whoever is the biggest threat to this portal idea working? Okay. That's who I want to take
that
out.
Would be the other one of the 2 that were standing in front of the door, because they have not actually gotten to go yet. So
right, okay.
You got one of them, so you could try and take out the other one if you want.
Yep. Yeah. Behind the back.
All right, roll it.
So, would this be marksman plus anything else?
It's probably marksman. Let me see. You guys, you're pretty close. So marksman and fighting.
Okay. I don't have a bonus to fighting, so 24.
Okay, which is way more than what I rolled. I rolled very, very poorly. So yeah. So you get that guy, and he's out now. So awesome. All right. And then the 2 at the end, I'm going to say, actually, they turn around and they book it. So the 2 who were at the end of the hallway, they actually turn around and they leave. So you are left now with a portal that is currently opening. And, since there's basically combat's over because there's nobody else to fight, it opens. And so, yeah, you guys can do... You guys gonna go through the portal? I mean, yeah. All right, cool. So you guys jump through the portal into Henrietta's safe house.
I light a cigarette.
No smoking in here. There's propane.
Oh crap! Yeah,
propane, mate. Yeah.
You're gonna want to step outside.
It's okay.
I need a nap.
We got a porch for it.
All right, cool. Well, so you guys get to his safe house, which is cool, and like she's scared she's kind of hyperventilating. She's like, oh my God, like, what the hell was that? She's kind of freaking out about what's happening.
This is not my strong suit. Somebody else should take this.
He's not bad at it though, is he?
Not terrible, but
he's not terrible. He's got a little bit of persuasion.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Too bad.
But I would imagine there are people better suited for it. Like, maybe the
don't think any
paramedic, maybe. I don't know.
So
I only have persuasion 2, but I'll give it a try. I'll look her over to see if she's like damaged or anything, and just try and calm her down.
I'll say that they didn't damage her. They all that they had the chance to do was kind of just grab her, and he started dragging her. So like the thing too, like any bruising that might have even been left, probably like there's maybe some red skin from where she was being held, but like no actual injuries.
Yeah, just force of habit. I just whip out the icy hot anyways, and just like out of my little side pouch, and I just try and like wrap her arm and give her a band-aid. And I take one of the lollipops that I give the kids and just give it to her.
Is anyone else in an AMP support group? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know if anybody else here is.
Okay, so I kind of, especially since this is like kind of someone like I really kind of idolize, and I have a little bit of performance, I have a little bit of persuasion, and it's something I do. I really went through a quite traumatizing experience when mine came online, and like I really have dealt with people like kind of going, "What the frack has come on?" I kind of explain, "Hey, by the way, this is what's kind of happening." Some of us, this world is going bat crap crazy. Some of us are getting these extra things. I think you probably have this too. I think you're kind of like this weird ass medic dude here, probably. But you're so awesome, and you're don't discredit because your skills are so freaking awesome. Anyway, like you were better anyway beforehand, and like I gush for a second, and then go back and then kind of calm her back down and to say, hey, we're all here. This is what's going on. There's places for us. There's people who help us. I don't know what's going on with those other guys. I've not encountered that before, but there's places for us. This is what's going on. Like, this is a safe spot.
Can you make a roll for me?
Sure.
We'll say persuasion and empathy with the tech that you're taking.
Nice.
That would give you a +5.
Da 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 da. Um, 14, and then the +5 makes it 19.
19, very cool. All you needed really was a 10. So, because you're wearing the colors and everything, so it's all good. She understands what you're saying, and she's like, yes, yeah. I didn't even know that there were a whole lot more like us. That's really interesting. So she's kind of like looking at each of you down, and obviously she's like, okay, so which one of you did the portal here? And she's like kind of looking to see if anybody has any obvious powers, which obviously none of you do. So she,
You're
Is
not
my clone
alone,
still
love.
sitting by me?
Say that again.
Do I still have a clone out? Because I don't think I destroyed the second one.
Your clone's probably still there. Yeah.
So I guess
just kind of goes wherever you go.
so I guess that would kind of potentially be kind of semi-obvious.
Yeah, semi, but I mean, could also just be a twin. I mean, she doesn't know. Except it's also wearing exactly the same clothes as you. So yeah, it's probably a clone.
Well, I did just squint at the air for a while, and then it broke, and we're here now. So,
well, but she was, she wasn't really paying attention to that. She was like in the middle of being like blasted with sound waves herself.
No, I'm saying that's what Henrietta is saying to her right now.
Oh, okay. You
like,
said,
oh, if you're about like, no, I was like, and then,
yes. She's like, wow, that's that's very impressive. But then she like immediately gets like kind of startled, and she looks at the time on her watch, and she's just like, I need to get home.
Might not be safe to go home, love. No,
Yeah,
man.
you might want to figure out what's going on before you jump on the whole home wagon.
Oh, by the way, do you have a cell phone?
Not on me.
Good,
Probably for the best.
because then I don't have to smash it. And I will direct her to the little pneumatic press that I have for exactly such things.
Well, she says, yeah, I'm not obviously going to go to the hotel that I'm staying in, but I do have family in town, so I would like to go see them.
Why don't you use like one of our phones or one of the pile of burners that I have stashed somewhere in the house and call them first? Just, you know, it would do this old lady's heart so good to have you do that for me.
She can take the phone. She'll call them. She calls them. She speaks in Hindi, probably, to her family. And yeah, and then she hangs up and she says, yeah, would any of you be able to take me to my family's house?
How close is it?
Well, she says home, probably, instead of house.
Mm.
She says it's not far. It's however plot distance away.
Get it. Is there a picture of it on like on one of them Googles or something?
Yeah, I mean, she can give you the address. It's an apartment building.
I think before we just take you there, maybe we scope it out. Know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking we could actually walk in. I'm going to grab one of my bargain basement energy drinks and slam it because I need some juice back.
Cool. And there's like enough time. You basically here, you guys are in a resting period, so you don't need to take energy drinks to get more back. You will get back to your normal resting state.
3. Okay.
So you will return to 3, which is good. Everybody's at 3, Radiant's at 4. All right, cool. So you guys take Savi back to the house, or to her apartment, the apartment complex for her family. And you check it out and it's fine. There's nothing weird going on or anything. But essentially you go up, basically it's a 5-story apartment building, probably 5 or 6 apartments on each floor. She takes you up to the 3rd floor, knocks on the door. Nobody here speaks Hindi, but she knocks and she says, so yeah, because I don't think any of you guys have the linguistics gift. There's the linguist gift, which allows you to like speak other languages and stuff. But the door opens. It reveals an older woman, obviously Savi's mother, who hurries the group inside. So like, come in. She can speak English, but when they're just speaking to each other, they don't feel the need. But she introduces herself as Lakshmi, and it's noticeable that she is mostly covered up. After a few moments of hellos and pleasantries, she asks what Savi was doing there, and that she was not supposed to visit for a few days after the competition. She wasn't actually supposed to come home. She was supposed to be staying in the hotel that the rest of the team was staying in. And then Savi explains the situation, again in Hindi, so it just happens. Looking around the house, though, if you want to make a perception plus empathy check, I just need to know who gets at least 10s.
Got it.
Okay. So no first. So everybody but Henrietta. That's how it works in this game. So looking around the house, everybody who made your check you'd obviously know that there's at least 5 people here. This is a family home. There's kitty plates at the table. There's a walker in the corner. You can hear coughing coming from one of the back rooms. There's children laughter from another. So it's definitely it's a homey kind of feel here. But after Savi's kind of calming down her mom, she's like, "What's happening?" But then she comes over, and she says, "We should be fine here." She says to you guys, she says, "We should be fine. No one knows about this place, but thank you so much for saving me." Yeah. So, and she's, she's speaking to you like you're her new best friends, essentially. Like, she's like, "Yes, we're gonna be good here. Nobody knows anything about this." She motions to her mother to kind of remove her coverings. And when she does, you can see that she's got weird like scarring on her neck and her jawline and everything. And then her grandfather comes out, and you see that he comes out from the back room. He's an older gentleman, probably around maybe a little bit older than Henrietta is.
Nice.
He only speaks Hindi as opposed to the other people here. But he's much worse off than Lakshmi. However, he's got kind of weird tumors. He's got uneven legs. So it's even hard for him to walk. That's why he's got a walker and whatnot. So there you go. And yeah, her little brothers come out too. She's got two little brothers. Neither of them have any physical deformities though. But she says, "My family did just order pizza. Would you like any pizza?"
Yes.
Are we
yeah.
allowed to use colorful language on this program? Fuck yes, mate.
Very cool. Well, and then this is basically where you would have the opportunity to ask any questions if you have any questions about possibly anything. So,
Oi, Lakshmi, yeah? Thanks for the hospitality, first of all. Second, I noticed you got some scarring there, yeah? Hope it's not too forward. What's that all about?
Savi mostly answers, but she says, like, "My family has been marked by the gods. We've always kept this secret. My father warned me about being so blatant with my gifts, but this is what I get for disobeying him, I guess. He is the only one in our family with no blessings. My dada, who is her grandfather, my dada is strong enough to resist bullets, though his body has been weakened through the years. My mother can read others' memories, and I can obviously move quickly. My brothers, Adish and Chunmei, they have already started taking after me with being able to move fast as well, but they're not nearly as fast as I am, obviously."
Well, they're still we.
Any other questions?
How fast can you move? And there's another.
She says, I have not actually tested it with like speedometers or anything.
How big is there a hallway or something we could do a little race with?
Yeah,
Lance?
is this like a backdoor into a race, Lance?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want
We
to,
don't like.
you'll
I
race
mean,
you.
I thought we were past this.
You're never past it. I mean, she can race you, but I think you're probably faster than she is. She's fast enough to win at soccer.
If we really want to race,
stopwatch, yeah.
If we really want to race, I could open a portal to somewhere far away and see who gets here first.
Well, I'm gonna say, like, you guys just run down the hallway and back if you want to. She's like, "Yeah, I'll race you. Let's do it." But you come back before her. She does.
Ugh.
You're faster than she is.
I'm gonna look at
level
her.
4. She's probably got level 2, like 3. She's still young.
I'm gonna look at her parents with a kids these days. I mean, really? I mean, come on.
Yeah, her mom's just like, "Oh yeah," she's just exactly the same. But so if you ask any other questions, so again, because I have to keep cognizant that we only have 2 hours. So the other questions would be, who were those people? If you wanted to start asking about the people who might be after her. Is this your family's home? Like, if you want to ask more about the family. those would be the other two kind of questions that I have stuff written here for. So would you like to ask either of those?
I think I do kind of would like. I just want to chat with the I think the mother, and as much as I can to the father, just like, you know, how long are these? When did like the sort of abilities start to show up, or when, you know, when did the blessings start to show up?
Yeah.
Just kind of like general, you know, not interrogation, but that sort of soft interrogation, trying to figure out what their deal is.
They've had it goes back even farther back than Dada, they say. They've had markings essentially, that it would come along with gross deformities, but they would also have powers.
Okay.
So it actually runs, and this would be the first time that you've heard of anybody before right now having actual.
Because it's year one.
Exactly.
I'm actually going to make some. I'm going to make some notes while we're talking about this, because it's actually really fascinating.
And Ripley just wants to go step on the front porch and light up, and also kind of keep an eye out for anything while he's having a smoke.
Okay. But Savi's like, you know, she mentions like, I've been underplaying what I can actually do. I could run circles around a lot of people. Like, I'm not as fast as you are, but I'm actually pretty fast. But I try not to do it because I've heard that people have been disappearing. Similar things have been happening in New Delhi as well. That's where she's from. Here it's even worse over here in America.
Well, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the mother says that, basically the mother and the father moved there to America pretty much just a few years ago. The father's income wasn't necessarily enough to support himself and the mother and the grandfather and 3 kids. So Savi ended up moving back to India and staying with relatives. And she's been trying to make money as a soccer player to help pay the bills. And, you know, she gets to travel to the US about twice a year to like be part of the rivalry with Team US, you know, stuff like that. But essentially, like, she lives in India, but the rest of her family lives here until they have enough money that she can actually move there.
Interesting.
That's respectable.
Yeah.
But, young lady, you know, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes, I've seen Spider-Man.
Yes, he goes, I remember when I was a young speedster as yourself, and he begins going to a long, drawn-out story. She's probably not paying attention.
I'm going to very slowly put my hand over Lance's mouth.
But you can also tell from the implications kind of the story that's being told, like, not necessarily they don't say it, but you can pretty much tell that her dad is probably the only legal person here. So everyone else,
keep an eye out for you,
off the grid a bit.
Yeah.
So,
I'm actually going to make a note to add them to my list of people I check on periodically, you know, see how they're doing, if they need anything.
Okay.
Nice.
That's cool. All right. So then you guys, essentially she says, I don't really feel like there's anything to fear here, so I'll just wait till the coast is clear, and I'll get back to my life in India, I guess. So now that I know that they're after me, I should be able to evade them pretty easily.
Hope so, love. Stay safe.
I'd also get some people you trust over there to keep their eyes out as well, because more eyes always makes for more safety, really.
Yeah, no, she totally agrees. I'll definitely call my auntie and my uncle.
Neighborhood
Comp
watch.
them some tickets. Have them show up to the games. That's probably where they're most likely to strike then, because large crowds, easier to hide in, easier to disappear.
Yeah, we will be careful. All right. So as you guys are leaving, so we'll skip. And I'm skipping a little bit in the adventure because we only have a half hour left. As you guys are leaving, essentially, I'm going to say probably like the next day, you know, the next time you guys get together at wherever you guys hang out together. Where would you guys hang out together? Like, do you guys have a central meeting place, or is it just like at Henrietta's house? Like,
I mean,
I kind
she
of
is
like the
the
idea that
kind of
it's Henrietta's
grandma.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got this like safety place, and
Yeah.
she's kind of got this like
yeah,
grandma sort
Got
of
a
figure
dope
going
pad.
on.
And I have the fastest like exit strategy should we need that.
the dope pad is awesome. So yeah, so I'm going to say
I'm adding that to my character sheet. Dope pad.
I'm going to say that you guys are kind of all just hanging out the next day, and you hear a knock at your door. When you answer it, there is what it looks like to be like it could be an ambush from the Men in Black types. But their leader is at the door, and she raises a badge. She removes her glasses, and she seems like she's got kind of a kinder face. And she introduces herself. She says, "I'm Agent Miller, and we're just here to talk. If you have."
Okay.
Does
Well,
Henrietta have?
she's saying it really calmly, like it's a mission of peace, but like literally, there's lots of people with big guns behind her. So it's
Do
like,
Can I?
got a
it
warrant?
could go very poorly.
You got a warrant, or are we doing this in the street off of my property?
Does Henrietta have like tons of civilian cameras around so we can see like what's going on around like the whole perimeter of the like house?
I think they're all. I'd imagine they're all really, really cheap ones, but yeah, absolutely, yeah, that's the
There's
sort of
probably
thing.
some cheap ones, yeah.
Yeah, little like webcams that she had some of the neighbor kids set up for her.
But no, so she says, you know, she's here to talk. So we can talk to her, or we can step outside. However, I mean, she's actually at your door. You can invite her in, or you can talk to her outside.
Yeah, no, but they're like vampires. I'm not letting them in. I will, however, say I have that I don't necessarily mind them coming to the back, but they're not entering my house.
That's fine.
They got a little
They'll stay
patio set.
where they're at. So
Yeah.
all right, cool. So she essentially says, so the reports from the fight that we had earlier, the two people who were at the end of the hallway didn't necessarily see a ton. So, and the people who did see stuff didn't necessarily live. So she doesn't know that you are amps, just so you know. But essentially, she kind of comes to you guys with, you know, she did see footage of y'all with her at the place. So she approaches you and says, you know, the girl that you helped today, she's not what she appears. She's different from a normal person, to the point of being really a danger to national security. We have it on authority that Savi Dawan can run faster than any normal human at peak speed, and that others in her family have similar abilities. So finding her and bringing her in for testing may be key to unlocking that potential for others, curing cancer, any number of revolutionary events. But none of this happens if we don't get our hands on her, obviously, before she goes back to India. So this is where you obviously have a choice. The US government is willing to provide you with, you know, we have a discretionary fund, so name your price. But yeah, we would like your assistance in possibly having the opportunity to, not the word, I don't actually have this line written, but essentially we want her, but she's not going to use the word kidnapping because she's smarter than that.
Do you happen to have a like an affidavit saying that she consented to all this, and that she's a U.S. citizen, and that you have authority to do any of this, or is this like a hush hush type of thing?
Well, Savi is not a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Obviously.
So you have actually, so you don't actually have any authority over
However,
there, and it could technically be
let's
like an
say-
act of war or a major violation of human rights or something like that, right?
No. No, this would actually be, it's the most humanitarian thing to do, would be in order to get her and be able to, assist
Okay. So
research into this new phenomenon.
locking people, taking people and locking them up to experiment on them. Yeah, that's real humanitarian. That's what that is. Yeah. Somebody else should probably start talking, or she's just gonna sarcasm her way into getting a shot.
As a person that has a government job, I'm intrigued about the medical possibilities, but at the same time, nah, we're not gonna have you. No, he would not be like up for having her experimented on. That's kind of his worst fear as well, like being found out and being poked and prodded. So he'd be very against it.
Yeah.
Love, I think what you're describing is called xenophobia, yeah? Anyways, we don't know where this chick is. She's a fucking soccer player. We fucking came to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Have you tried India? Have you tried India? Because she might be there. I mean, I'm no expert on such things, but might be worth a peek.
And Ripley tries to subtly like have his weapon at his hip behind a pillow, something covering it, just on the ready.
Okay.
Aiming. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is everybody else just going to stay silent or also say something sarcastic?
Insert sarcasm.
I was gonna say she's stone. She's a stone face, so she's not reacting to any of this. I'm reacting to it because I find it funny.
Yeah.
She's not responding at all. So.
Yeah, stone face. That's. I'm gonna turn to I don't know, whoever. It doesn't matter. That's one of the things that we used to do all the time. Back before I decided to be a good person. It was a tactic we used a lot back in the day. That whole just like, whoa, yeah, it's really good at like freaking people out, makes them make mistakes. It's a really good tactic, and she's got a good one. She's really good. I mean, bravo, madam, bravo.
So either Radiant or Anthem, were they going to say anything? It's cool if you don't want to.
Anything I say is just going to cause more problems.
Yeah, because I'm really just doing great with de-escalating the situation.
I think you're muted.
I say, here's the thing. I'm committed to justice and truth and justice. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the American way. So it does none of that you're describing sounds like either truth or justice.
All right.
Respect.
Yeah, I like that. Well, she says, well, thank you for your time. And she'll leave. I mean,
You're welcome.
There's not really anything else for her to do if you guys are just gonna say no.
Have a lovely day.
Oh, seriously, just down the street, there's a little Italian place. Seriously. Cannolis before you leave out. Delicious. Delicious.
Very cool. All right. Well, what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do anything else? What would be your next move here?
Is anyone near a window to get a glance? I picture myself more middle of the room because I was having a gun behind the pillow.
We're in the backyard.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. You guys are in the backyard.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have to find
I
someone.
did not invite them in because they're
I
vampires.
missed that part. Got it. So my gun's behind a planter or something.
Right, exactly. Oh, I was actually thinking that it was one of those like nice like day benches in the back
Yeah.
with the garden when the
Okay.
Oh
last
yeah, no, you just like
like,
those little
like that.
one of those little like pillows you have when you're sitting out
Yeah,
on the. She's
that's
got a
exactly
nice
what I
little
was- you said pillow, I
patio
was
set.
like,
Yeah,
bam.
nice
Good.
little patio set.
It was right there.
So I'm definitely smoking if we're outside.
Oh,
Of course you
yeah.
did. Of course you did.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well then.
So apparently this is going to be a thing.
Yeah. So
gonna say to everybody.
can we perceive, if we're being surrounded?
I mean, you hear their engines going like they're driving away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Henrietta, should we check on the fam? I mean, did they leave yet?
I don't think they did, but I think that's something that I should definitely go and do, just in case.
We kind of go there and kind of make sure like they've got a little additional assistance.
Yeah.
We also need a plan for how we're going to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're coming back with more, and if
Yeah.
they're ready to start taking people
Yeah.
as soon as they figure out more about us, which they obviously already know, and I start doodling like an anarchy thing on like my hand.
It's beautiful, love.
I love it. All right, cool. So if you guys are heading back then to Savi's family home.
Oh, I'm portaling. I'm portaling. There's no way we're gonna like.
Okay.
Yeah, we're no like. I'm doing on any travel further than like that literal cafe I mentioned is all gonna be there. Like I'm also gonna fill a backpack full of the energy like those bargain bin battery acid energy drinks. So
Right. I think.
Can you portal all of us?
yeah,
Yeah.
I just open it. It stays up. Like if I do just the normal one, it stays open for like 6 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
That's actually the interesting thing about portals. That's the difference. Portals is expensive to do anything more than just open the door and go to a different place. If you want to do really far, if you want to do it faster, if you want to make sure, there's a whole bunch of extra things you have to spend points on.
Yeah.
Teleportation is usually just you, but portals is for everybody.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. It's a little bit more expensive. Yeah.
Hence the backpack full of battery acid.
Yes. All right, cool. So then, yeah. So you do.
Imagine it's actually called juice.
I think it's just it's just
the battery acid cheap energy drinks.
I like battery acid. No, that's the brand name.
Oh yeah.
It's
Like
okay.
juice is the flavor.
The
Juice,
flavor. Yeah.
juiced with a little mark like contains no actual juice.
Exactly. All right, so you actually do. You go back over to their place. When you knock on the door, they, Savi answers it because Savi is still there.
Mhm.
And she goes, "Oh, hi! I wasn't expecting to see you guys again."
Yeah, I was expecting to check on your family here in like a week or so, but yeah, we have a thing that's going on right now.
What's happening?
They showed up at my house and decided to have a talk because they want to do experiments on you and also your family. So we should get you guys out of here.
Oh no. Yeah, and like her dad is there, Darupa. They like her dad and mom start talking back to each other and stuff. And Savi goes, "Well, okay, apparently my parents have been talking about everybody just going back to India instead of just even bothering to stay here. And her father kind of comes over and he's like, yes, I've already arranged it. I already have somebody who's going to get us papers so that we can get back safely and not have to worry about it. So yeah, he says, I'm actually I'm about to go and deal with that right now. So I'm gonna head out and get those papers.
Okay, is that a somewhere we could get a safe, like a short-term safe? So we just need short-term safe house type situation then.
They don't
Somewhere
have
that I could find.
like this place is kind of off the grid anyway.
Yeah.
And they don't have a second place to be, sadly.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that also more to, I'm just more like saying that is a need, that is like a hierarchy of needs. That's something that is needed right now is a secondary safe house. Just paranoia. I'm really embracing the whole paranoia thing wholeheartedly. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over if I know anywhere that is unlikely to be checked in like the next 24 to 48 hours that I know and could get everybody into with a portal.
Okay. Where are you sending that portal?
That's the thing, is I'm trying to think of where to send the portal around, like somewhere within my range, that because this is an area that I sort of know, somewhere that people are unlikely to check for a day or two, that we can just sort of stash
What if
everybody
we
there.
go to the AMP where we hold the AMP group meetings? That's generally pretty safe. No one really knows where that is.
Yeah, they keep that pretty well on lockdown.
All right,
I'm comfortable with that.
Okay,
cool. They also will likely have some cots or something that we could slap together if we need to go the full 48.
Yeah. All right. So Durapa actually, so he says, okay, cool. He gives his wife a kiss and, essentially says, call me, so that I know the address. But he leaves to go and get the papers. And while you are opening the portal, there's like rumbling from outside. And it sounds like there's an explosion and the building kind of shakes.
Oh, fuck me.
Can I like while creating the portal, can I burn another juice to insta open it? Or to open it with the round? Okay,
yeah, it means that like instead of a minute, essentially.
Yeah, a minute to a round. Yeah.
It's gonna end up taking like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So Savi's there, Savi and her two little brothers, like they're like, get it open.
Like,
and you see like the grandfather goes over to the window and he looks down and he sees if anybody else is at the window, you can see it. You see that there are agents there and they're actually just planning on just demolishing the building.
Oh shit.
And you see that he starts to just get really angry. And you see that his mutations start getting way worse. And his arm starts, and he starts like basically hulking out into like a giant dude, which of course the weight of that starts, sinking the floor underneath him. And he actually just jumps out of the window and goes down to start fighting the agents.
We're gonna let him keep doing that. I'm gonna in no way hinder it yet.
Can I run to the window and start sniping?
You can, although it's very chaotic down there and he's very large. I feel like I want to share this with you. Do I have a screen sharing ability? I do not. Okay, I was going to show you the picture because I have a really cool picture of him in his
Just print it out real quick and hold it up to your camera.
I think I actually do have it in print. I'd have to leave to go get it though. So he starts like ripping stuff apart and fighting the agents and stuff. The portal is now open. So
okay, let's get everybody in there. Somebody with speed needs to go and check to see if there's anyone else and get them through this portal too, because I'm not gonna let an entire building full of people die because these guys are assholes.
And that's what's kind of happening here, because I think I had said 6 apartments on each floor and it's 5 floors.
Yeah.
So
I do make max clones, so I guess that's 3, and like try and like send them out of the building as to try and attack some of the agents, as just trying to delay building coming down.
That'll definitely delay. That's good.
I've got speed 4.
And the lance goes, my name is Diego Molina. And prepare to not die. And he's going to just try and, again, speed forward and see how many people if he can investigate and how many people can we get out, I guess.
Now, the cool thing about that is the fact that because he's a person that needs to be able to do things really fast. You have a thing called fast tasks. So you can spend one acceleration and then spend it for fast tasks as well. And then we can just be like, I think it cuts the time by into like a quarter of the time that it would normally take to do something.
Yep.
That's basically like, oh, somebody needs surgery, and it's like done, and it's awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, we can just say you are able to check like all the rooms and the floors and stuff like that, and you can do it really, really fast because of that.
Got it.
Very cool. And Doe, you had said something, and then I missed it. So what is Radiant doing?
Oh, I just wanted you to know that I have, you were asking about speed, right? So I have 4 speed 4, whatever.
Okay.
I don't know if that's enough.
Did I ask for your speed?
Well, you said that you were looking for who had speed.
I think I was the one that was Henrietta saying.
Oh,
that.
okay.
Just
Okay.
anybody who's fast.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I was gonna say
somebody was asking for speed.
But
yeah.
But Radiant is actually you can't run fast, but you can fly super fast. So it's actually really, that's again why Radiant and the Lance are actually a really good team, because they're both really fast too. So yeah.
So shall I be helping?
Yeah, I think that works out.
Either helping that or distracting or adding like chaos and distraction to what's going on down there.
Yeah.
Because we need them as disorganized as possible.
Okay, so I'll take it downstairs. Just so long as Ripley doesn't shoot me.
Yeah.
Don't worry, love.
In the building, though, you're trying to get people out, which is good because there were at least a few people on each of the floors. So it's just going to be a matter of you helping them out. And there's no role for that. You're devoting your time to do that. There's not really a role involved. The sniping works pretty good. There's, I would say, probably a dozen or so people down there. And they're not untrained in that, so they know how to hide behind a thing so that you can't hit them and stuff like that. Obviously you have luck, but
and I'm looking for anyone with like explosives in particular to make sure they don't make it to the building.
Okay,
so gotcha. Snipe them.
Yes. Okay. Well, they kind of had already set the charges, so
so it's just one explosion, and then they were gonna.
Yeah, it was mostly one just to weaken the foundation so that people would have to leave.
I see.
And then they were going to get them when they left.
All right, then I'm just sniping them all.
Yeah, and you're just out there sniping them. All right, but you got them to the support center, which is good. And do you go to the support center as well, Henrietta?
I think I'm going to hold until we make sure everybody who's going is. I'm also going to toss one of the battery assets to Ripley.
Okay.
Just to make.
How much juice do you have left?
Me, I think I only have one right now, but okay. I imagined I would slam one of those, so I have 2. So I have another. So I'm going to have another. So once we get there, I can do another portal somewhere else if need be.
Okay.
But I need to keep that going.
All right. And Dada is down there just like demolishing stuff. Obviously, you remember his power was that he can resist bullets. So they're shooting him, but it's not actually hurting him. And he's just kind of mauling through them. But you can tell that after bullets hit the same spot on his skin, it does start to start tearing through and whatnot. So,
Lance, mate, should we get Dada out of there? Am I saying it right? Dada, I don't know. I feel like a child. But anyways, we all bounce. Is he gonna get demolished? I don't know. Or Radiant?
Yeah. Okay, yell through the portal at the family, Dada's family.
Yeah.
Like, how able to stop himself is he when he's like this?
So you're asking them?
Yeah, I'm asking them because
They say we've never seen this before ever.
Okay, well, so
this is a brand thing.
We probably shouldn't hurl him into an enclosed space with a bunch of kids. So let's not do that.
Maybe he fends for himself.
You can. Is that what you're going to leave? You're going to leave him to fend for himself?
Unless Radiant feels like she's strong enough to fly in and snag him.
I would say he's very heavy.
It's large, yeah.
Yeah.
I can carry up to 250 pounds.
Would he
But it
fit
sounds
through
like
the
he's
portal?
larger than that. Yeah, that was another question I had.
I would say he could probably. I mean, because it's ripped into nothing, right? You spent the juice for that. Yeah. So I would say he could probably fit through it. If it was an actual. Normally portals have to be worked on an actual doorway, so he'd have to fit through that doorway. But if you're doing just ripped into the reality, then anything can probably fit through there.
Yeah.
Like maybe we get all the innocents to safety, and we go out and take out these motherfuckers so they stop following people around and trying to kidnap them. Yeah. Pew pew pew. Still shooting.
I've heard worse ideas.
That's what it sounds like with the silencers.
Yeah.
The improv silence.
Still smoking.
Like got the punching and screaming like clones down there, and the little pinking, and then whatever all the other chaosy things going on.
So do you leave your clones there?
My clones, I don't care if they die down.
Are you going to the portal and just leaving them to fight? Is my question.
That's my eventual goal. Yeah.
Okay. So we have Henrietta through the portal, and we have Anthem through the portal. What about Radiant and Lance?
The Lance would go through it as well.
Okay. So the Lance goes through, Radiant goes through. Ripley, what about you?
I'm a swan dive in.
I love it.
I'm not going to catch him.
You're not going to catch him.
No. I'm
well,
just gonna let him...
Parkour roll out of the swan dive.
Well, then that means that you successfully get away. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, then that's pretty much, you saved them. Savi is, indebted to you forever. Thanks to you for all your help for her family. They do make the plans. They do end up returning to India without her father. Her father had actually disappeared after having left the house. So who knows what happened to him? And without the grandfather, because he actually did not make it through the fight. But
seems pretty fair.
Yes. I mean, yeah. That was basically what he was. He got so mad that he couldn't control it. He lost control and he attacked it. The thing about it, though, is that even if you were there helping him, after the agents were gone, he would have just started attacking you guys. So it's
kind of what I
control, sadly.
Yeah.
However, in this case, Savi does owe you her life, and she's, hey, whenever I'm, in America, I'll be part of your gang and it'll be awesome. And then that's pretty much that. Yeah. That is the adventure. Again, I skipped kind of a part of it and kind of just went straight to you get a deal to make and whatnot. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's the adventure. Yeah. Nice. You guys, having a person with portals obviously changes a lot of the stakes in the game like this. Because it's like, okay, well, I guess there's no danger then because you just left. It's not how do you leave? It's like, no, we just leave. Because I have a portal.
Skedaddle.
Yeah, well, so it's a thing. But I do like that you were kind of creative in your usage of it as well. So it wasn't just like, we portal out, done. It was interesting.
Well, I tried to think more realistically, if she had this ability, what would she do with that kind of policeman mentality?
Yeah. Very cool. Well, and that's essentially what we have here is you would get an extra experience if you saved Savi from the Men in Black. You get an XP for escaping there was supposed to be like a riot in the middle of the adventure that was happening in that neighborhood, and it was actually a riot that was being spurned by the agents to try to draw them out and whatnot. I went to explosions instead, but because it was just faster, but it was actually supposed to be a riot. And it was supposed to be, did you escape the riot with Savi's family? You would have gotten an experience for that. Befriend Savi, you get an experience, because I've actually had people go through this adventure and they're like chastising her for cheating, and they're like fighting with her, and they're not nice to her at all, and it's weird. Defeating Dada is actually one of the things. So if you had actually defeated him, not killed him, but knocked him out, because if you had knocked him out, then he would have survived. He would have shrunk back down. So there's that. And then obviously you get an XP for either making for making the decision whether to make a deal or not with the Men in Black. So
nice.
So that's and that would be XP on top of your normal XP that you would get at the end of a session for being here and all that stuff. So so that's AMP. So yay.
Yeah. That's really cool.
But I'm here for any questions or whatever. This was a very kind of basic kind of adventure. There are more involved ones, and then there are some, I think there's a couple that are like more conspiracy, more mystery. And also this game has a lot to do with different affiliations, essentially like groups of amps. All of the characters that are in this were all unaffiliated because it's just easier that way. But there are groups that like they get special abilities if you're a member of a group. And the support groups is actually run by one of those groups. The support groups are
sweet.
They're the scientists who befriend the people to get the information on their DNA and all that stuff. So because they're like, yeah, no, we're friends, we should just talk about it. How does this make you feel? Oh man, yeah, you should talk. Yeah, like, we can probably do something for that. And people are like, can you? In the setting, they're the ones also that.
How do you feel about a cheek swab? Just a little bit.
Exactly.
A little bit,
stuff. They're the ones who come up with the cure. Essentially, they can give you a shot and remove your powers if you choose you don't want them. Not everybody does that, obviously, but it is a thing that you can do.
mRNA.
I'm gonna say yes. Like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know the actual things behind it, but no, yes. But oh god, there's like a whole this game line is probably one of my favorites to write, because there's like a ton of stuff all happening all at once and tons of backstory and stuff. Like the fact that like Savi's family has had it from the beginning, from like generations and stuff, because that's basically when it started. It was experimentations on soldiers and stuff from all across the world,
right?
And then it started getting passed down in the genes and whatnot, but it's unstable until pretty much about right now. So it's been unstable, and that's essentially the crux of it. It hasn't popped up a lot in the US, because in the US there was an organization called the Suppression, who was basically, whenever you would go in to get your family shots and stuff like that, they would also give you a dose of the thing that would keep you from manifesting powers. Because if you did manifest powers, then you would be like Savi's family, where you'd have a lot of physical deformities and stuff. So they would do that so nobody knew about the experiments that happened a long time ago. And the entire crux of the setting is that all of the members of the Suppression were all like assassinated, and all of their materials were given to the descendant of the leader of the Suppression. And he was just like, they've been keeping superpowers from popping up? That would be awesome if that happened. I don't think I'm going to continue my dad's work. I want to see what happens when superpowers happen. So yeah,
that's the greatest reason ever. Like,
it
that
really
would be
is,
awesome.
Right? Well, he was a geneticist. He followed in his father's footsteps. So he's like, I want to see this. Like, and he's the one who is the leader of the Seekers, and he's the one who started the support group, stuff like that, so that he could start studying the amps. So anyway, there's a whole backstory with him, and if you will love him, and then you will hate him, and then you'll love him again. He's a crazy character. People get mad at me. This is the game that I have. There's like an intense meta plot going on that I've literally gotten people who have sent me emails mad at stuff that I've done with some of the characters. in the story. I'll be like, it's okay, it's gonna work out for everybody. I mean, most people, like some people do die, but it's gonna work out. Calm down. It's just a story. You know,
I love it.
they have like huge emotional attachment to some of these characters. Anyway, I find it fun.
Yeah. Love
Do
it.
you have
Very
any
good.
questions about the game itself or the setting or anything like that that I can answer while I'm here?
Not that I have currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
There was part of it, just to point out more about the loyalties, because we didn't actually lean on those a lot. But when like she was giving you the offer, essentially that could be a place where I could make you test your loyalties against each other. So for instance, like if you have a really high self, but a really low humanity, then I'd be like, oh, well, if you're going to say no, that basically would be going against your highest one and you're trying to go towards your lower one, and I'd make you roll them against each other to see which one would win.
Yeah.
Because then it's like you really are, like, I believe, yeah, like Ripley's is a 4, you know, you like, and has no humanity, no comrades, no
empathy.
no empathy. He has perfection, he has self, and he has justice, but the justice is mostly for himself anyway. But like essentially he would be the first one to be like, I don't know, what are you offering? Like, yeah, like let's do this. You know, whereas if we look at Samaritan's got 4 in humanity, 2 in community. Like, you know, Samaritan would be definitely somebody who would be like, no, like this isn't right.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, I see truth and justice here for Radiant, plus a little bit of self, but not too bad. And the Lance is lots of community, lots of humanity, no self. He has 0 self, because that's the Lance,
selfless,
0 self. And an Anthem has a little bit of self. Actually, she's kind of across the board. She's got lots of comrades, so that's good. Anybody who like, you're my friend, I'm gonna fight for you, and it's awesome. And that's essentially how that works, is that I might make you roll them against each other if you're having a problem. It seemed like everybody was like, no. And I was like, okay, well, we'll just go with the no, since everybody seems to really be on board with no, instead of being like, I don't know, Ripley seems like he's kind of wanting to take the deal.
There's the line in his bio that says he also makes it a point to save anyone who might get hurt in the crossfire as various gangs attempt to take him on. So this isn't the gangs chasing him, this is the Men in Black trying to capture supers. But if that's where I kind of felt like, nah, he would be protective of this other super, pulling from that part. But,
which works. And depending upon how you make your character, you know, these characters they're built to kind of be more heroic, on the heroic end.
Yeah, which he really did not care about, you know, blowing up the soccer ball mid-game.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, cool. Well, if you guys have any other questions, I'll be in the Discord. You can always hit me up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, running at 2 hours is so hard for me sometimes, because I want to stretch it out, and I want to it's such a thing. I'll be like, all right, we have to stop here and we have to move forward, guys. I'm sorry. You know, it's like, because there were a couple of scenes where I was like, I kind of want to see where this goes, but no, we can't. We have to move on. But yeah, hit me up if you guys have any questions about AMP or anything.
Love it. Thanks so much.
Will do.